There is a quiet behavior, almost forbidden in a world that teaches men to perform, that can make you impossible to ignore. Not because it tricks anyone, but because it changes your posture so completely that attention becomes a side effect. The kind of presence that doesn't ask to be chosen, it assumes it. Machiavelli understood something most men learn too late. Power is rarely won by chasing. It's won by becoming the one others feel compelled to move toward. That principle applies to business, status, and yes, seduction. If you want the clean version of the truth, here it is. People don't pursue what feels easy to secure. They pursue what feels valuable, self-contained, and slightly out of reach. A woman rarely chases the man who tries to win her. She chases the man who intrigues her. Predictable men are comfortable, but comfort doesn't create obsession. The man who disrupts her expectations without drama, without desperation, becomes difficult to forget because the mind tries to complete what it can't fully decode. This is where most men fail. They flood the connection with availability, reassurance, constant messaging, constant explanation. They think more equals attraction. It doesn't. More equals familiarity, and familiarity delivered too early kills tension. Desire isn't created by volume. It's created by precision. If you understand that, comment, Hunter. The goal is not to be cold. The goal is to be whole. A woman can feel the difference immediately. Coldness is a tactic. Wholeness is a state. Coldness is reactive. Wholeness is stable. When your life is full, purpose, training, work, friendships, movement, you stop trying to use her attention to fill your gaps. And the moment you stop needing her to regulate your emotions, you become magnetic, because neediness is the one signal attraction cannot respect. Now we need to talk about the weapon most men misuse: silence. Most men either talk too much or they go silent like a tantrum. Both are weakness. One is pleading, the other is punishment. Strategic silence is neither. Strategic silence is composure. It is the ability to leave space without panic. It is the ability to pause before reacting. It is the ability to let a moment breathe instead of trying to control it with words. In seduction, this matters more than lines, more than game, more than any script, because silence exposes your internal state. If you can hold silence without anxiety, you signal value. If you rush to fill it, you signal need. A woman doesn't just hear what you say, she feels why you said it, and silence is where the why becomes obvious. When you speak less, every word carries weight. When you speak constantly, your words start begging to be taken seriously. Silence creates gravity. It communicates, I'm not nervous. I'm not trying to win you. I'm not fighting for control. I'm here, present, calm, and I don't need to prove it. This is why a man who can stay quiet at the right moments becomes unnervingly attractive. Not because she enjoys confusion, but because the female mind is highly sensitive to emotional stability. A man who can hold his frame without explaining it feels rare, and rarity is the mother of desire. Here is the uncomfortable part. Women test, often subtly, not because they are evil, but because attraction is not just chemistry, it's safety and structure. She is watching your emotional stability. When she delays, when she pulls back, when she teases, when she challenges your frame, she's measuring one thing. Do you collapse or do you remain steady? Strategic silence is your answer. When she goes quiet for hours, the average man starts leaking. Double texts, nervous jokes, passive-aggressive comments. Are you mad? Did I do something? He turns her silence into an emergency, and in doing so, he confesses that she controls his nervous system. The composed man doesn't do that. He doesn't punish her. He doesn't chase her. He simply continues living. And when he returns clean. No resentment, no interrogation, no drama. That signals something very specific. My emotional center is mine, not yours. If you stay composed, you awaken something deeper, respect. And where there is respect, attraction has permission to grow. What most men call mystery is often just inconsistency or emotional unavailability. That's not the target. The target is depth. Mystery is not ignoring. Mystery is not revealing your entire inner world on day one. It's not placing all your cards on the table because you're afraid she'll leave if you don't. Depth means she senses there's more to you than what she can access immediately. And human nature does something predictable around depth. It leans in. Strategic silence is one of the clearest expressions of depth, because a man who isn't constantly narrating himself is a man who has an inner world. He doesn't outsource his identity through talking. He doesn't attempt to be understood by force. He lets understanding develop naturally, through time, through experiences, through consistent behavior. Silence also protects you from the most common seduction mistake: over-disclosure. Men reveal too much too soon because they want certainty. They want to lock the outcome. They want to secure her attention the way a nervous person secures a door. But seduction isn't security. Seduction is tension held with control. There is a rhythm to attraction, approach, impact, space. If you remove the space, you remove the tension. If you remove the impact, you remove the memory. This is why selective presence is so powerful. Not games, not punishment. Selective presence. When you appear, you bring impact. When you leave, you return to your life. You don't vanish to create anxiety. You step back because you genuinely have direction. That creates contrast, intensity and space, connection and independence. And that contrast builds tension, clean, natural tension, because your presence has weight and your absence feels real. Never compete for her attention. The moment you start fighting for a spot in her world, you frame yourself as an applicant. Quiet confidence flips the dynamic without theatrics. You don't beg for time, you offer it. You don't demand certainty, you allow things to unfold. You don't audition, you lead with standards. Strategic silence also shows up in how you respond to provocation. Some women will tease, some will challenge, some will throw a small emotional hook into the water just to see if you bite. If you bite emotionally, you lose power. If you respond with calm humor or with calm nothing, you win, because you're showing you cannot be easily moved. This is not about being robotic. It's about being unshakable. A man who gets rattled by small tests will get rattled by bigger ones. A woman can feel that. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel strong. It feels like managing a boy. But when you stay centered, you become the man she doesn't know how to handle, because her usual levers don't work. And what doesn't work becomes a puzzle, and puzzles get attention. There is a line you must not cross, using strategy to destabilize someone. That creates addiction, not attraction, and it's corrosive. Real seduction is not about making her anxious. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to manipulate because his baseline is already rare. Calm, grounded, disciplined, socially intelligent, and emotionally contained. The rarest signal of all is not arrogance. It's non-reactivity paired with warmth, interest without hunger, confidence without performance. At a certain moment, the shift happens. It's when she realizes your center doesn't move based on her moods. You don't get inflated by praise. You don't get crushed by coldness. You don't chase a disappearing act. You don't retaliate. You remain yourself. That steadiness creates the question that pulls her deeper. Why doesn't he react like the others? And when a woman starts asking questions internally, she's already moving toward you. The fatal mistake most men make right when things start going well is trying to prove their value. They start over-texting, over-sharing, over-validating. They try to lock the outcome, but real value is not proven. It's felt. It's demonstrated in how you move through life. Your pace, your standards, your patience, your self-respect, your ability to walk away from what doesn't align. Never reveal the full intensity too early, not as a trick, as discipline. Show interest, be direct, be present, but keep your dignity intact. Let attraction build the way it's supposed to, through earned access, through shared moments, through time. When she feels she has to earn deeper layers of you, not through games, but through genuine connection, you become the kind of man she doesn't forget. If you want a simple line to carry as a private signal, use this. You don't chase, you choose, and you keep choosing yourself first. If this hit clean, comment Hunter.